Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Manjagalpatarabhyasya Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sankarjanakara Toi Sai Garbhoda Sai Chapayo Bisai Seshashisham Sakala Satya Nanda Kiram Sharanam Namastu Nityanandaram Sharanam Namastu Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Priya Pradaya Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Aswarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Mahayukta Shaktikam Panchakalpatarubhishu Kripā Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kumgaroti Vachalam Bangam Langayate Gram Yatrupatam Hamande Shri Gurunanatar Paramanam Sri Chaitanya Hare Krishna. Everyone is doing well, and last week we were discussing Lord Chaitanya, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, was expressing his desire to see Advaita Acharya, Nada, So what he did, he sent a message to Advaita Acharya through Ramay Pandit. And so he went to, Ramay Pandit went to Shantipur. How many of you been to Shantipur? Went to Shantipur, and he told Advaita Acharya, the person whom you have cried for, you have petitioned for, you worshipped Tulsi, you worshipped Saligram with Tulsi and Ganga water. He has descended into this world. And he is asking you to come, the Supreme Lord. When he heard this, he and Sita Thakurani, they were in the ocean of bliss. But he really wanted to, he really wanted to test. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Prabhu.
So
we cannot see you, Prabhu.
We cannot see me? You are the one only, you are telling, you are the first one actually. So I want to see, who will say. I thought nobody will show their face. Then I thought, let me become like that too.
Sorry, Prabhu.
If everyone wants, I will show. Otherwise, I won't. As simple as that. Even if you want me to, and I am not worth it, I'm like,
yes. Prabhuji, please, Prabhuji. Please, Prabhuji.
So,
Thank you, Prabhu.
So, what is that? Actually, love is never one-way traffic. Of course, then you'll ask a question why Krishna immediately doesn't reciprocate. Only to increase our intensity for him, Krishna sometimes tests. So, but a person who continues to serve Krishna, not just Krishna, if It'll apply even to Krishna, but you serve anybody sincerely, they'll be pleased. If you take shelter of somebody, there is a story in Sri Vaishnava tradition. One day one hunter went to kill animals. Then he saw a rabbit. I think hunters like rabbit. I don't know why, but so what he did, he pointed his arrow towards the rabbit to kill the rabbit. But the rabbit from nowhere ran towards him and went around his feet and took shelter of his feet and licking his feet. This hunter was so impressed that this rabbit took my shelter. First time he got a feeling killing is not good. And that to somebody who is taking shelter, his shelter. He should not kill. And what he did, first of all, he did not kill that rabbit. And he made the rabbit his pet. And eventually the hunter stopped killing animals. So anybody does service nicely, anybody takes shelter, others naturally reciprocate. This applies to everyone, including Krishna. Please don't think Krishna is an exception. And you should know when you say why Krishna doesn't appear, only to increase our intensity, because that's what Krishna likes. That's what Krishna likes. Sandrananda Visheshatma. So condensed soul having condensed love, intense love. So anyway, Advaitacharya says, what is that? So he said, when he said, Ramay Pandit said, Advaitacharya questioned, where is it written? The Supreme Lord Hari, he will descend to this world in Kali Yuga to reclaim the fallen souls. Where is it written? It's not written anywhere that Supreme Lord will descend. Then what happened when he said that Ramay Pandit was quiet? So, you should know me, Ramay Pandit. I'm a man of standard. Quality and devotion. I don't believe just like that here and there, hearsay. Proof to chahiye na. So, but so he was in that aggressive mood. Then sometime later he calmed down and he said, okay, why did you come here all of a sudden? What brought you here? Then Ramay Pandit, he started crying and he said, I came to you to deliver the message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for whom you have wept, profusely, he has appeared to distribute that Supreme Lord Gaurasundar has appeared to distribute the Krishna Prema to everyone. He is wanting to see you. Nityananda Prabhu has come already, so you are the life and soul of Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda Prabhu is also life and soul of Lord Chaitanya. So it is my desire that I want to see all of you together. So what is that? So when Advaita Acharya heard this, he was very happy actually. He was very happy, and Sita Thakurani is the one who, when she saw Nimai as a boy, baby boy, when he was born, so except color, everything is a Krishna only. Color is only golden, So then what did Lord say? What did he say? He said, come immediately. So then Advaita Acharya wants to prove to the world that Gaurasundar is actually, Lord Chaitanya is a super soul in everyone's heart. What he did, he wanted to test the Lord. So he wanted to test the Lord. After when he heard the Supreme Lord was so happy. When he heard the Supreme Lord Chaitanya, Sri Gaurasundar, Sri Vishwambar wanted to see him. He was so happy. He told Mother Sita Thakurani, bring all the Shodasopachara paraphernalia. You collect all the items. So we'll perform Shodasopachara worship. All the items. He said, I'll come, but again, he wanted to test. So he told Ramaya Pandit, what is that? I will go and stay in the home of Nandanacharya. If don't tell anybody that I have come, and if he is supreme, is the super soul present in everyone's heart, then he will definitely trace my whereabouts. So don't worry. So what he did, he came. Advaita Acharya came to Shantipur. So from Shantipur he came to Navadvip, and he went to the home of Nandanacharya. When he went to home of Nandanacharya, Ramaya Pandit, Ramaya Pandit, as usual, he went to see. So Vishwambar, but what happened that day? Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mood was very unpredictable. Suddenly he said, my Nada has come. I know he wants to test me, He wanted to prove to them, he wanted to test whether I'm really Supreme Lord or not. Super soul present in everyone's heart or not. So he started loud. Immediately Nityananda Prabhu brought umbrella. Gadar Pandit offered him camphor and pan, betel leaf. And devotee started worshipping. Then what happened? So the devotees were worshipping the Lord. Meanwhile, Ramaya Pandit reached. So Ramaya Pandit came back before Ramaya Pandit could say anything. So Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu said, oh, he sent you to test me. Hare Krishna. I know Nada has come. I know this. He's trying to test me. He's in Navadvip. He's in the Nandanacharya's home. So he's sending you to test me. Go bring, go to him again and tell him to come immediately. So Ramaya Pandit, when he heard this, he was so happy. And he rushed. And he told everything what has happened. When Advaita Acharya heard this, it was very blissful. It was very blissful, and he rushed to Srivas Thakur home. He rushed to Srivas Thakur home. There he saw the devotees worshipping. And what did he see? Wow. Lord Chaitanya Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu revealed, his beauty. Millions and millions of cupids, they cannot equal his beauty actually. That much beautiful, he was so beautiful. And we know, as usual, of course, his complexion was golden. Effulgent is effulgent like millions of suns. And Advaita offered obeisances. He has such long arms. Long arms. And the toenails, they're like gems. And he has a Kaustubha jewel and Vaijayantimala garland. And Makara Kundala. Prabhupada translates that as a shark shaped, but actually, instead of crocodile shaped, but they're actually Makara Kundala. Makara means crocodile, but shark shaped earrings. And what is that? Goddess of fortune, he revealed actually his Krishna form. Rama Devi, Lakshmi Devi worships the Lord always. Anantasesh is holding umbrella on his head. Brahma, four-headed Brahma, five, and Panchamukha Shiva, Shanmukha means six-headed Kartikeya, they were all worshipping him. Nardman and Shukadeva Goswami, they were reciting prayers. Gangadev was offering obeisances from her chariot, Hare Krishna. Devatas were offering prayers. And turning around, Advaita saw hundreds and thousands of devatas offering obeisance and prayers. And then he saw, what is that? He was holding the flute. A bluish black complexion, like a monsoon cloud. When he saw Krishna form, when the demigods, all the devatas were reciting, all they were offering prayers, Advaita became ecstatic. There is no place left in the sky or on the ground filled by demigods offering prayers. Sages, everyone. Wow. Then Vishwambar said, "Oh Advaitacharya, I have descended to this world because of your constant worship. Actually, I was lying on the milk ocean because of your cries, roaring, because of your roar. It woke me up and I descended. It moved me. Your desire to save the humanity touched my heart. That's why you have brought me here. So all these devatas, sages, they all appeared, in answer to your prayers. So Advaitacharya started crying when he heard this. My Lord, my dreams are all fulfilled. Thank you. By my birth and activities, there was some meaning now. And what is that? No one can see you. Vedas also describe you, but Vedas also cannot see you. But that personality I could see now. Who can liberate all the humanity? But for you, who can liberate? Who can deliver? So as Advaita was speaking, tears cascaded from his eyes. Then what is that? Gaurasundar, Lord Vishwambar said, perform my worship. When he received, immediately, he brought out all the items. And first he washed his, Supreme Lord's lotus feet with scented waters. Then he massaged with the scented oil. Then he dipped tulsi manjaris and sandal, dipped tulsi manjaris and chandan. And he placed them the lotus feet. Wow. When he offered it, then he started offering the incense, flowers, ghee lamps. Then what he said, our common prayer, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, the 16 Shodasopachara. I offered all the articles, Madhuparka, what is that? Eshadip, Eshadup, Edamargyam, Edam Vastram, etane pushpani yesha chamar yesha yajan, sorry, swagatam suswagatam idamasanam krishnanam etat padyam krishnanam idamachanyam krishnanam dantagashtam krishnanam jihola krishnanam. Sorry, before that, of course, what is that? Madhuparka Krishna Punrachana Krishna. Then what? Dantakashta means brushing the teeth. And tongues Jiholekalam Krishna. Then Snaniyam, again you bathe. Snaniyam Krishna. Idam Vastram Kling Krishna. Imana Abharanam Kling Krishna. Then what else? After Abharanam, idam Sugandha Dailam Kling Krishna. Then he is a Gandha Pushpa Kling Krishna. He is a Dhupa Kling Krishna. He is a Deepa Kling Krishna. He is a Naivajan Kling Krishna. There are 16 items actually. So anyway, so what is that? He offered garlands, clothes, the shoulders of all these 16 items of worship. He said then the famous prayer, Namo Brahmani Deva, Go Brahmanita, Jayatita Krishna Gondanam. He offered that. He recited that. My Lord, all glories to the Supreme Lord Vishwambar. Sri Gaur Sundar, all glories to you. You're the source of all incarnations. Actually, Advaita Acharya started glorifying the Supreme Lord. And the all glories to the Yugavatar Lord Chaitanya to propagate. He has descended to this world to propagate the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, all glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who lies on the bed of Ananta Sesh, and oh my Lord, you are Krishna himself, you are Narayana himself, you are eternal, you have appeared in the past, Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, Nrsimha, Vamana. In every yuga you appear, you appeared as Ramchandra, the life and soul of Mother Janaki, and you appeared as you appeared as Kapila, mother of the son of Devahuti. So you appeared as Rishabdev, and sorry, not Rishabdev, you appeared as Nrsimhadev. Nrsimhadev to protect Prahlad Maharaj. And so you are present in deity form as a Nilamadhava, Jagannath Swami, and in Nilachal. And the four Vedas, they offer their glories. Your mercy very mercifully appeared in Navadvip. So my Lord, you are very, you are expert at hiding yourself, my Lord. So you have descended to propagate the holy name. So your feet, the nectar from your feet are hankered by, Lord Shiva and Parvati. Ramadevi, the goddess of fortune, she serves your feet. Brahma serves your feet. And as a Vaman there, when you pierce the outer covering, Ganga washed the same lotus feet. Bali Maharaj is the one who surrendered to that lotus feet footing, and you place the same lotus feet on his head. Lord Shiva holds Ganga, which has washed your feet. And so my Lord, today I could see that lotus feet. Today I got the opportunity to take shelter of the lotus feet. Hare Krishna. And Advaita Acharya started offering the prayers like this. The Supreme Lord swooned in ecstasy. When he, and he made the noise, all the devotees, Hari Hari, Hari Bol. So, and then devotees start rolling on the ground. Then Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu asked Advaita Acharya, sing my glories and dance and perform kirtan. Actually, our movement is kirtan. It's not like meditation, So we had, what is that? What is our bhakti? not sadhana bhakti. It is a prema bhakti. Means raga bhakti, intense. So when he said, immediately what he did, he performed arati and he started singing nice kirtan and started dancing. Initially he danced like soft. Then at the end, very swift movements, Hare Krishna. Sometimes he would move with a blade of grass in his teeth, in his mouth. But sometimes he would move swiftly, jumped in the air. Actually, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a chapter called Beda Kirtan. Lord Chaitanya would go around Jagannath Puri Temple. And Lord Chaitanya, that time he would jump 15 feet high in the sky. 15 feet. And third, when he would crash, the earth would shake. Devotees, of course, it's Leela, then he performed, he exhibited different devotional moods, tears cascaded from his eyes, he was rolling on the ground, finally he became quiet, So when he ran towards Lord Chaitanya, he saw Nityananda Prabhu. He said, oh, Nityananda Prabhu, finally, Nitai, very happy to see you here. So if I'm longing to see you. If you go away from here, if you try to go away, I'll tie you up. So what is that? Krishnadas Mr. Vrindavan Thakur says, sometimes he would call Nityananda Prabhu as a Prabhu, or sometimes he would call him as a drunkard. So Vrindavan Thakur says, they both are Vishnu Tattva, right? Nityananda Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya. So Nityananda Prabhu smiled, So what is that? So after he offered, like the devotees became very ecstatic when they saw Advaita Acharya dancing, Then he said, oh Advaita Acharya, ask for a boon, Lord Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I told him, ask for a boon. My Lord, what boon I want? I have seen you, my desires are fulfilled. You have appeared, you have descended into this world, hearing my cries. I don't need anything, my Lord. What boon you want me to ask? You have descended to spread the holy name, descended to distribute Krishna Prema. But one thing, my Lord, what is that? Please give Krishna Prema to mlechas, yavanas, chandalas, children, ladies. You give it to everyone unqualified. But those people who are proud of their learning, their scholarship, their wealth, their glory, my Lord, please don't give them Krishna Prema. Those people are very intoxicated, proud. Those who are disrespect your devotees, let them burn in the fire of hell. Hare Krishna. Let them burn in the fire of hell. I have no names. One devotee told me this. Our devotees in Mumbai, they all would go to the beach and they would chant. They would do kirtan regularly. One day, one famous politician came. Every morning, right? Morning, nowadays India is also like westernized. People would do the jogging. It is not western or eastern, but jogging is good in the morning, no doubt. So these politicians saw the devotees doing kirtan in the morning. Hey, what is this disturbance and nuisance, Why are you guys, creating so much of disturbance, so much nuisance? He didn't like it because the morning atmosphere very calm in the beach. Devotees he felt devotees were actually disturbing that the tranquil atmosphere, filling with the sound. But he doesn't know this is more auspicious than simple silent, simple silence. I'm very sad to tell that politician is no more actually. I mean, I don't know what happened. I mean, like, I can't tell you what happened. So, like when we'll see Chandkaji, how Lord Chaitanya, holy name is purifying. But if you think this as a, what do you call, if you consider this as a disturbance, means you are losing your credits. Hare Krishna. So and Sri Vishwambar roared loudly, Nada, what you said is truth. Let the entire world bear witness to, witness to this. What is that? Let the world witness my showering Krishna Prema to ignorant fallen conditioned souls. Actually, if you see, when sometimes Krishna wants to reveal, Krishna reveals like that. Srila Prabhupada, I have so many things to share with you. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was 90 plus years old when he came to Vrindavan. He was, he says, Kashtera Putli, I am like a doll, dancing doll. He had arthritis. His vision was, in those days, where technology was not there. He had arthritis and he cannot see, he couldn't see properly. And his hands were shivering, because of the, body, body is a machine, it fails. His hands were shivering, he cannot even hold the pen straight. And he had arthritis, as I said, his vision was very impaired. But the pen is moving. Hare Krishna. The pen was moving. And he wrote. Srila Prabhupada, 70-year-old man, came to America with 40 rupees. On the way, he had 2 heart attacks. And Indians did not receive him to fund his program. And Prabhupada requested his God brothers to help him. Interestingly, he didn't get help from India. And Prabhupada did not preach to many, last time also I told you, elite, white collar Americans. He preached to hippies. And how Lord Ramchandra used Vanaras to conquer Lanka. So, but Prabhupada preached to hippies and drug addicts. And that's how Prabhupada actually spread the movement. Haribol. Saraswati Thakur, when his father and Guru Maharaj, Yugal Kishore Babaji Maharaj, they left in 1 year gap, 14 and 15. He became lonely. He had no money, no support. His father was his big support, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. His Guru Maharaj, Yugal Kishore Das was pure devotee, big support. But they both were not there. He became lonely. Then what? Guess what? In less than 21 years span, he built 64 Gaudiya Maths, initiated 60,000 disciples. What is important? Prabhupada said, please Krishna. What is important? Pleasing Krishna is important, not the externals. Can you imagine all these drug addicts and hippies and gamblers in America? They became pure devotees. And the Bhattacharyas and Mishras and Chakravartis, the Brahmins of India, they are bereft of, they are devoid of this Lord Chaitanya's mercy. It's because of Advaita Acharya's prayer. One day, this is 99, 2000 January, 1999 December and 2000. I was in Srirangam. I went with Russians to distribute books actually. So many people were there. Literally lakhs and lakhs of people. So we were standing there distributing books. From nowhere, one person came. This is Srirangam, for Sri Sampradaya, actually Vaishnava headquarters. Sri Sampradaya headquarters is Srirangam. One person came and he saw these beautiful young Russians. He said, if you can see my, I don't know, am I visible? I'm visible, right? So he did like this. I can defeat you. I can poof off you. That's the word he used. I still remember. in 5 minutes. I challenge you. You want to argue with me? And this Russian devotee, he looked at him and he did this and smiled. He didn't even say one word. That person, he was stunned. Usually, usually he'll respond with anger. This devotee, "Arey yaar, kya?" This is like Rupa Goswami and the Digvijay, So, very interesting. Now, Krishna says in Gita, Striya Vaishyasada Sudra. So, this I give mercy to ladies, children, Shudras. How to speak of Brahmins if somebody is qualified? What is that one quality? Don't criticize devotees. I'm talking to myself actually. Actually, in one lecture I was hearing, a person who is proud will criticize. A person who is proud will criticize. We don't speak, but we are proud of our successes. We are proud of our education. We are proud of our achievements. Pride. One time I heard a lecture where it said, whatever your desires are, even whether it is preaching, Krishna can fulfill all of them today. Then what happens? We become proud. And why did Krishna teach lesson to Bali Maharaj? When Krishna, when his pure devotees, when his devotees become proud, Krishna doesn't like. Because that will spoil everything. Pride means what? We are telling Krishna, you have no role in this. I did everything. In other words, you being a devotee, you're rejecting the presence of Krishna, you're rejecting the hand of Krishna. So you're becoming a Mayavadi, you're becoming a atheist also. Hare Krishna. Tell me honestly, which father will do that? Right? What do you say? So that's what Krishna doesn't. When our ego is, I'm talking to myself. The layers of ego are scraped. Our original things will come out. And you respect Indra. Krishna used Indra. Indra is a very exalted devotee actually. But of course, though he is very exalted, he is not quote unquote Maha Bhagavat devotee. So when they stopped Indra Puja, first of all, I'm just quoting, because who am I to speak, filled with lust, because Indra would see Vamandev every day. Krishna Vamandev is what? Krishna's incarnation. I'm not seeing Vamandev every day. But what is Krishna telling? To that extent, even that stage also, we'll have, the impurity in our heart. And a little problem. So, Vachalam Balisam Stabdam Agnyam Panditamanam Krishnam Martyam Upasritya Kopame Chakrapyam. Hey, kya soch rahe? Simple, foolish, talkative boy. Can anyone talk about Krishna like that? Vachalam Balisam. Impudent boy, talkative boy. क्या सोच रहे हैं? पंडित माने नाम. What he thinks is a big pandit. And he spoke and he convinced, and they listened to him, and they listening to him, they given up Indra Puja. I'll tell them. I'll tell that type of lesson. Nobody would ever dare to do this again. Krishna is telling, when ego is scraped, that's how we become. I am also like that. how easy it is to speak when somebody is listening. Prepare for 1 hour and put the book in front of you and speak. It's so easy. So original character comes out when we deal with devotees. What do you say? So this pride is deadly. This pride is deadly. Our name is prefixed with there's a doctor, engineer, America returned. That America, wow, America means heavenly planet. So everyone is listening?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Actually, a couple of days before Bhakti Rasam left, I want to relinquish even my identity. I want to die before I die. I still remember this. He just left on June 27th, 2005. And he said, I want to give up I want to die before I die. What is that? I want to give up John Favors, Bhakti Tirtha Swami, Krishna Pad. The sannyasi, the Brahma Ghanashyam, Brahmachari. I want to give up all these things because I am not any of these things. they are all designations. He wrote that mail actually, just 4 days before he left the world. 1 minute. So Advaitacharya, Lord Chaitanya sanctioned this. We have to focus on 2 things in this world: chanting and service. That's it. What is it we have to focus? How fortunate we are. We have Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha here. Hare Krishna. And they have descended. Nitai Patpan Gaura Hari. They're so amazingly merciful and transcendental. They are there, waiting for us. So choice, if you have opportunity to serve them, wow, any minute 1 minute you render service, it is an eternal credit. 1 hour you render service, it is an eternal credit. You join full time and do service, it is an eternal credit. That is the glory. Bhakti Tirtha Swami said, I cannot forfeit my position for anything in this world. He said that. Those of you are serving Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha, you are really fortunate. That's what I know actually. So Lord Chaitanya gave, when he gave, he said Tathastu. When Advaitacharya said that, it Tathastu. That's why if you see these proud scholars, they don't become Krishna conscious. One time Gauram Prabhu asked me, actually, why many Brahmins we don't see in our movement? Because there are 2-3 slokas, or 2-3 mantras. But this is a pure devotional service. Pure devotional service PhD also. Wow. Initially I didn't understand. Finally I understood. Wow. Why I'm so fortunate. I broke all the regulative principles, nonsense, number 1. So much ego. Causeless mercy. So anyway, what is that? One day, Lord Chaitanya, actually, Nityananda Prabhu would stay in the home of Srivas Thakur. Nityananda Prabhu is Avadhuta. Avadhuta means his behavior is very unpredictable. Very unpredictable, and he would not eat. Someone has to feed him. Nityananda Prabhu, Mother Malini, the wife of Srivas Thakur, she would feed him. She would feed him. So one day, but regularly devotees would come and meet. Lord Chaitanya would perform his pastimes in Srivas Sangan, actually, in Srivas home. One day, Lord Chaitanya, after his, after his dancing, he said, oh Father, Pundrik, my father. He started crying. When will I see you? Pundrik means Krishna, right? Pundarik Aksha. Lotus like eyes. So they thought he is talking about Krishna, Then why is he telling father? Because sometimes Lord Chaitanya would exhibit Balram, sometimes he would exhibit different forms, So, but when he would become normal, he would say, where is Krishna? That is a normal trend, So, who is Pundrik? So devotees could not understand his name, Pundrik, And what happened? They were, naturally they wanted some explanation, Finally they understood, there must be somebody we do not know. But Lord Sri Chaitanya Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu came back to normal mood. He said, the devotee asked, who is Pundarik? He said, you are so fortunate. You are very fortunate. His character and activities are wonderful, amazing. He is, he appears like an ordinary man, a materialistic man, but he's a pure devotee. No one can recognize. He's a highly scholar Brahmana from Chattogram, Bangladesh. Today it's in Bangladesh, actually. He follows the principles of bhakti strictly. Everyone respects him. And he's floated in the ocean of bliss of chanting the name of Krishna. So always he exhibits this ashtasattvic kara, the crying, hair standing on end, horripilation. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi is that type of person. He's a great worshipper of Ganga. But he knew Ganga emanated from the lotus feet of Vishnu, Krishna, Vishnupadi. Means she is pure, she can deliver you. You can go back to Godhead by touching Ganga, actually. But when Pundarik Vidyanidhi would see people, abusing Mother Ganga by putting their feet, washing their feet, brushing their teeth and taking bath and washing their clothes, that's a Pundarik Vidyanidhi never came out and to worship Ganga. In the night when nobody would be there, he would go and worship Ganga. Actually. That was his faith. Actually, when we go on to see Ganga, we should remember this is why Ganga is so sacred, because of her contact with Krishna. Right? So, anyway, what is that? So Pundarik, so Lord Chaitanya enumerated his glories, and very soon he'll come. Because Lord Chaitanya desired. They got a feeling to go to Navadvip. One time I had a lecture by one of the brahmacharis of Chowpatty. People fall down because of 3 reasons. ब्रह्मचारी और सन्यासी किसी का पतन होने का कारण 3 है. What are the 3 reasons why anybody can fall down? 1, offenses. 2, they become lazy in chanting the holy name and following for regular principles. The 3rd one is Krishna wanted him to in that state, wanted him to be in that state of fall down. Of course, it will be, means Krishna will use that situation so that it is good for him and the rest of the world. Krishna put Arjuna in the state of confusion so that Bhagavad Gita can come, and Bhagavad Gita could come out. Arjuna is an eternal liberated, Nityasiddha devotee. Arjuna doesn't have any confusion. But then why Krishna did that? So that Bhagavad Gita can come. Krishna used many times Indra actually, only to tell to what extent we behave wrongly when things don't go in our way. Indra is an exalted, very exalted personality. You're all listening?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So that's why bhakti is simple, not easy. You know, bhakti is simple, not easy. So Lord Chaitanya talking about Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he said. Actually, Pundarik Vidyanidhi's name is Premanidhi. It's the ocean of love of God. Oh Father, Pundarik, Father, where are you? So devotees understood, wow, this should be a great personality. And he said, we'll be blessed with his association. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi came to Navadvip with his disciples. He came, he came with his entourage. Pundarik Vidyanidhi is a very rich man actually. No? So if you are not careful, he'll appear to you like a lavish materialist. You'll think like for example, you see some ISKCON devotee, he'll come in his Mercedes, he'll come to Yatra. In Yatra, he'll bring his very rich cushion chair and he'll sit down. As the class goes on, he'll start eating cashews. Then somebody starts fanning. How do you feel? What do you think? So Pundarik Vidyanidhi is more or less like that. So what happened? One day, Mukunda, who is Mukunda? Mukunda, Vasudeva's brother, Mukundat, told Gadadhar Pandit, I am going to see a great personality. Gadadhar Pandit has this natural inclination to see Mahatmas, So he said, a great personality appeared. So in Navadvip, you want to see? I'm going to see him. Do you want a company? I said, yes. You all should know, Gadadhar Pandit from day one is very renounced, of course, effulgence of Radharani. And he has not even a speck of connection with the material world. So Mukunda, when he said Gadadhar Pandit agreed, but very interestingly, he didn't tell, it is Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He didn't tell his name. He didn't tell anybody actually. So what happened? Mukunda took Gadadhar Pandit to the home of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. But when he went, what happened? Pundarik Vidyanidhi was sitting on a raised bedstead. This bed is, very costly bed. And the sheets, the blankets they're all wool, woolen. So what is that? Silk blankets, not wool, sorry. Silk blankets, silk sheets, and silk pillows. And actually, he looks so beautiful. His hair is, what is that? He applied a very, perfumed oil to his hair, to his curly hair. And there are two people fanning him. And there is a pan, betel nut pan, pan made up of betel leaves is there, and he would regularly eat. Because of that, his lips are red all the time. And next to him, there are two mirrors. He would look his face in the mirrors. And his disciples are nearby. And two people keep on continuously fanning him. So then, in that picturesque sight, what is it? Mukunda took Gadadhar Pandit. You know? So this is Gadadhar Pandit. So they both offered obeisances. Mukunda said, this is the one. So when Pandit Vidyanidhi saw Gadadhar Pandit is effulgent like sun. What is his name? Which village is he from? You know, I can see his body is effulgent because of due to his worship of Krishna, and his form and demeanor is so beautiful. Other Pandit said, Mukunda said, this is Gadadhar Pandit, Sri Gadadhar. And he's very fortunate because from childhood he's detached from family. His son of his father's name is Madhav Mishra, a Brahmana. But by birth, from childhood, he's absorbed in bhakti. He associates with only devotees. Is very dear to devotees. When I told about you, he expressed his desire to come and see you. So, Pandit Vidyanidhi, when he heard this, he was very happy. But what happened? And Gadadhar Pandit was watching the whole situation. There are water pots, very costly water pots filled with water. He's chewing the, pan, and very rich appearance. And these people are fanning with peacock feathers. And it's like, he didn't, he's actually, Vrindavan Thakur says he's appearing like a cupid. But Gadadhar Pandit, because of his simple living, devotional living from childhood, he could not correlate. Kunda said he'll show me, he'll take me to a great Mahatma. And looks like, he's like a materialist. Then Kunda understood. Gadadhar is making offenses. I mean, he's like, he's trying to judge him external, through by his external appearance. If I don't respond, it will constitute an offense. First thing is when we are proud, when we have pride in our heart, we judge others. This is more so true with Siksha Gurus and especially Siksha Gurus, because Siksha Gurus are not advanced. The Diksha Gurus don't have time, and they're very advanced, they don't respond anyway. So especially with whom we daily deal with, if we are not careful, we'll judge them. But the judging mentality comes only because of the pride. This is medicine. I have collected. So anyway, what is that? Then what happened? Whether even fall down or anything, it has to happen in the mind first. Thinking, feeling, and willing. Sometimes thinking, feeling, willing, they'll happen in 1 second. Actually. I have to correct him. Hey, Prabhu, immediately thinking, feeling, willing. Stop. To the extent we have the heights of pride. Thinking, feeling, willing will happen in few seconds actually. How many have experience? Prabhuji, actually, honestly speaking, what you're doing is not right. I don't know how many times I regretted actually, because of this mentality. Devotees, we don't, what is that? There won't be any fighting. So we have to be careful with our speech. Nudvegakaram magyam satyam prihitam cheta swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva manmayam tapmuchyate. There is a tapasya for speech. Anudvegakaram vakyam. If we all, I'll take 3 more minutes. His Holiness Radhana Swami is expert at poking your ego. He'll do that. Only to see how you'll respond. First thing, if you serve him, he'll not talk to you. You'll be in the same room for 1 year, he'll not even look at you. First thing, what mistake I did. You'll be miserable. You may be temple president. You may be anything. He'll not talk to you. Maharaj, what do you want? Thank you. Amen. Recently somebody said, if there is a silent treatment, somebody asked some question, something like that. I don't know. Huh?
Become the personal servant of Maharaj.
I think, what is it? Anger management session. When you become angry, some people, they don't speak. Silent, this anger is called silent treatment. Come for prasad. Not interested. Who will it all? I don't know. Very limited words, So tomorrow, my flight is who will drop me to airport? I don't know. This is what's called silent treatment. Means you should know other party is angry with you. So anyway, why I'm telling this is, it's very lengthy, I cannot tell. But one time he did this to me actually. Niranjan Swami said, I may cut the story short and directly came to the point. Are we going tomorrow to Nirvana? Radhana Swami asked. Maharaj said, are we coming back to New Jersey or are we going to Nirvana directly? Maharaj said, we are coming back to New Jersey. And Niranjan Swami laughed. Maharaj asked Yugal Kishore 3 times. 3 times he said, we are going to Nirvana. And Maharaj looked at me and said, in that look, when did I tell you this? And I cannot give all the explanation there. Why I did that. So Maharaj looked at Niranjan Swami and said, when he says he knows, he thinks he knows. And they both laughed. I'm like a Duryodhan, This is like 2 years after I joined. 2-3 years. And Maharaj saw I was upset. And he saw that. He said, Niranjan Swami, when Yugal Kishore says he knows, he thinks he knows. And he laughed again. And I was, wow, So that is Guru. What he will do, he'll take a sharp knife and he will dig and take the dirt and throw it out. I was upset, So, Yugal Kishore, do you know the directions? I said, yes. Means externally it is confidence, internally, because if I say, yes, Maharaj, if I say, maybe he may think I'm not confident, So I said, yes, Maharaj. Very firm yes, actually. That also he saw, he can see everything. So anyway, the thing is, as long as our ego is not hurt, we behave like pure devotees. Once the ego is hurt, then we don't need to quote about Indra and that pastime, Govardhan Hill pastime. So we'll end it here today. We'll continue on this. So what happened, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Punnadas Thakur ki jai. Jai Gaur.
Hari. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As your humble servant, if I spoke anything wrong,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Ram Mar goes to Prabhupada.